How are we getting from Costa Rica to Panama? The bus. The Tica Bus. We're going to tell you all about what it's like to take the Tica Bus to Panama. Let's get into the video. Let me step back for a minute. How did we get to San Jose from Puerto Viejo? So we took Interbus to get there. It was about $64 a piece, so we decided to try public transport on the way back. I think it's called MEPE, M-E-P-E, and it only turned out to be $18 US to get back. So now back in San Jose. What we did is we ended up staying at the hotel at the Tica Bus, but we couldn't find very much information about it, so that was a little bit of a gamble. It turned out to be a really good decision because the bus leaves at about quarter to midnight, and if you go to a standard hotel, you got to check out by 11, so you've got about 12 hours to wait for the bus. This way, we just paid for an extra night, and we stayed there all the way until 11 o'clock at night, went downstairs and caught the bus. This is what the hotel room looks like. So it's a very simple hotel room, but it's only $32 a night, and for two people it's $40 US a night. So why did we choose the bus to go to Panama? Well, while we were planning this trip out, we were waiting for about a month to get cheaper airline tickets, and the cheapest ticket we could find is $700 each to get to Panama City from San Jose. So what we decided to do is take the bus because it was only $56 each. So the bus leaves San Jose at almost midnight, and it's about 5 hours to drive to the Panama border. What that gives you a chance to sleep on the bus, but the road is rough, windy, and the bus drivers like to make some time, if you know what I mean. So it's pretty hard to get some sleep. So we got to the border about an hour early, and now we have to wait in line for customs. And here's sunrise on the Panamanian border. Well, that was a bit confusing because the bus driver dropped us off at immigration, I guess, to exit Costa Rica. And then the bus took off, and now we're walking towards Panama. And I guess we have to go through immigration to get into Panama. So we're learning as we go.
We're in no man's land right now.
One thing to take note of is there is an exit tax in order to leave Costa Rica. So you can buy it at the Tica Bus station in San Jose, or you can do it online like we do. And when you do it online, it gets attached to your passport. So it makes it really easy when you're at immigration to leave Costa Rica. We're getting closer. So it's a little confusing, but we're getting it figured out. Now we're waiting for
our luggage, so we go through customs into Panama.
So 3 stops, but we're right next to the bus again.
This is our bus. So.
We're getting closer. Made it back on the bus 2.5 hours later.
How's my hair? Sleeping on a bus or not sleeping on a bus?
We'll talk about that later. So once you cross into Panama, the Pan America Highway gets way better. It's actually 4-lane all the way to Panama City from the border. So this is what we learned about crossing into Panama.
Well, first you have to exit Costa Rica, so you have to go through Costa Rican immigration, pay your fee, have your form filled out ahead of time like we did, and yeah, so you got to line up for that.
And then we have to walk to the actual border, and there is where we go through Panama immigration in order to enter the country. And then there was a wait after that because we had to get all the baggage checked. So that's where they line up all the bags for everybody on the bus.
Yep.
And then they had a dog do the search.
Yep.
And finally we got back on the bus, but all of that still takes about 2 hours to get through the border.
Yep, it did. So it was a good thing we were there early, because as soon as we showed up and were in line, all the truckers started showing up.
Yeah,
and there was a lot of them. So
now we've made it to Playa Coronado. So Would you do it again?
The
All
bus?
over again? Yeah.
The bus?
Yeah.
Well, so the plane would have been about $1,400 for the two of us, and the bus was just over $100 for the two of us. So yeah, I'd take the bus because that could be another 2 weeks somewhere else to stay. It's all whatever you got in your budget, people.
It was about 12 and a half hours in total to
It
get
was-
there.
yeah.
But it wasn't that bad when you're sleeping half the way.
Yeah, and it was fairly comfortable, and it was quiet, and
The one thing I would recommend is it's a real good idea to take that hotel before, because you can stay in your room all the way to 11 o'clock and be fresh before
Yeah.
you get on the bus.
that was worth the $40.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see you on the next video when we start talking about Panama.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go into Starbucks.